Hello everyone. This is the first lesson for grade 10 students, The Summer People by Shirley Jackson. In this video, we're going to discuss the themes in this lesson, the suspense, the conflict, in addition to the figurative language and literary terms used in the selection. Let's start with the first theme, which is country life versus city life. Of course, there's a very big difference between the country life and city life. The Allisons' attitudes on country life reflect Shirley Jackson's tone. Their forced light-hearted comments and jokes about the challenges of country life were intended to impress their guests. Shirley Jackson used many soft-sounding words, for example, 7 miles, soft trees, seldom, in order to portray a comfortable country life. The low maintenance, idyllic setting of the cottage is emphasized, while the absence of basic utilities and hygiene are downplayed. They had subsided to a comfortable security, which made the back house, as well as the bump and the kerosene, an indefinable asset to their summer life. Life was easier, of course, in the city with its luxuries of running water, electricity, heating, cooking, etc. However, the Allisons were proud of their country cottage lifestyle, and they contrasted it against that of the sanitary city people. They hated the insufferably boring city, and they could not stand their New York apartment. On one hand, Shirley Jackson expounded the benefits of country life, while on the other, she was highly critical. She said that shopping took all day, and the availability of specific groceries was unreliable. The second theme we have to talk about is growing old and the treatment of the elderly. Of course, Shirley Jackson regarded the Allisons as elderly. They were two old people who huddled together or hugged each other. In the 21st century, people lived longer because of medical and lifestyle improvements. But the summer people is still relevant, of course. It challenges the treatment of the elderly by their families and communities. The Allisons had accepted that they were no longer summer people, as they had not troubled themselves to put in any improvements regarding the cottage itself and the lake as improvement enough for the life left to them. Their decision to stay on at the cottage defined their feelings of loneliness in their city community and in their relationships with their children. Here we're talking about the generation gap. They knew the country cottage was where they wanted to spend their last days. Already they felt the isolation of old age, as their friends were either dead or settled in comfortable year round houses, their nieces and nephews vague. All the Allisons had left to look forward to was their summer holiday in the cottage by the lake. The third theme they discussed here was breaking tradition. The Allisons broke their tradition of invariably leaving their summer cottage that Tuesday after Labor Day. For the townspeople, this was unheard of. The Allisons paid the price. The townspeople would not alter their traditions to accommodate the Allisons' decision to overcome their traditional inertia. Mr. and Mrs. Allison argued their case to extend their holiday for an extra month, but lost. There isn't really anything to take us back to the city. It isn't as though we had anything to take us back to the city. The townspeople had an instinctive distrust of anything that did not look as permanent as trees and rocks and sky. This is related to the perception of villagers or of townspeople. You know how they think. Change to them is very difficult and very slow if it happens. Old traditions were carried on from one generation to another, and they were held onto tightly, as evidenced in the gradual use of modern cookware and the old fashioned telephones, of course.